Whenever we start a new endeavor in life, like working out, starting a YouTube channel, or a goal we just want to achieve, like winning a boxing match, make a certain amount of money, we tend to hyper focus on the results. We get this image of ourselves, and this image basically reflects the expectations we have after this challenge or after this endeavor ends. And then we get to work. We work every day on it. And in the end, nothing changes. We don't get that physique we wanted. We lost that boxing match. And we feel distraught and feel like we could have or should have done more. But what if I told you that hyper focusing on the result can actually do more harm than good? You see, around a year ago, I started my TikTok and I was only obsessed with one thing: results. I mean, I used to set these goals each month. For example, to reach 100 followers by May, 200 by June, so on and so forth. And guess what happened? By December, I had 140 followers. I was nowhere near my expectations, not even close. And I felt disappointed. But then, a little while later, I started reading the Bhagavad Gita. It was a gift from my auntie. And I never really paid attention to it because I mean, this has been in my house for like 3 years. But sometime last year was the first time I actually had a look at it. And it obviously has a lot of answers to questions. But in my opinion, there's only one verse which you need in life. And that verse is in chapter 2, verse 47. And the verse basically says you have all the control over your actions, but you aren't entitled to any of the results. And the more I kept thinking about this, I realized that it's true in every aspect of life. And in this video, I found two very good examples of when something like this has happened and why you shouldn't really care about the results. And since it's the World Cup this summer, let's go back to 4 years ago in Doha. Probably the greatest game of all time. And we saw one man do everything in his power to make his team win. I mean, France were done for. They had no chance. But then Kylian Mbappe, out of nowhere, just scores a hat trick, ties the game, and gives his nation a chance. But as you all know, Messi and Argentina ended up winning the World Cup, leaving Kylian Mbappe and France heartbroken. And this is exactly what the verse is trying to tell us. Because I mean, first of all, if results were the only thing that mattered, then no one would care or talk about how good Kylian Mbappe actually was in the final. I mean, because we saw how hard he tried, is the exact reason why we give him his dues. I mean, he was incredible. He tried everything. But as it says, you can only control your actions. You can't expect anything in return. Now, I know this might sound a little disheartening, because imagine working so hard on something and just not achieving it. But I think this verse is trying to tell us something else as well. And that's that things happen when they're supposed to happen. If you control your actions, something will eventually happen. And it will happen in the right time and when it needs to happen. And that's exactly what my second example is about. And this brings me to my second example, Lionel Messi. Now, Lionel Messi is, in my opinion, and I think most people would agree, the best player of all time. And even he led his nation to a World Cup final, all the way back in 2014. He did everything. He was amazing in the group stages, played his heart out in the knockouts, but in the final, he just couldn't get it done. Then, in the following years, he could have gave Argentina 2 Copa Americas. But again, it just wasn't working. He was trying his best, but it just wasn't working. I mean, things got so bad, he even retired from the national team. And people were asking, how can the greatest player of all time not win anything with his nation? But now, for the last time, let's go back to Doha, where Messi finally won that World Cup. And he won it because it was the right time to happen. It was just meant to happen that way. And Messi's story with Argentina is exactly why you should never stop trying. Because if you control your action and just do your action every day, eventually something will happen, something will change. Maybe not in 2014, maybe not in 2018, but in 2022, Messi finally got his hands on that World Cup. And let's say, for example, in 6 months, you tell yourself, I'm going to lose 30 kilograms. And by the end of the 6 months, you don't lose 30, but you lost 15. Now, you may have not reached your goal, but you still lost 15 kg, which means your action is working. Whatever you're doing is working. And eventually, that thing you're working towards will happen, or something completely different will happen. But one thing I can definitely say is that it will change you. You will change 100%. Like, for example, me making this video is my duty, is my action to record, edit, and upload it onto YouTube. Whether it gets views isn't really up to me, that's up to you. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.